prove something. Some of you, the decisions you're making concerning marriage are out of fear. You saw your father not take care of finances, so any man who looks like he doesn't have a house, a Range Rover, and a what, but those things can also disappear. We've seen people who have had it and lost it. That can't be your decision maker. Okay? I'm telling you, when Jeremy started dating me, you see him now. When Jeremy was dating me, he cornered me in a taxi. Our love was taxi love. Taxi and boda boda. Dr. Emmanuel Okulo, taxi and boda boda. Pastor Chris Nsubuga, taxi and boda boda, plus some other strange things, which included spaghetti, which had what? Sugar. He was trying to be creative. He put sugar instead of salt. They almost chucked him. Taxi and boda boda. Jeremy would come and pick me during ministry time and pick me on he would come on a boda boda, pick me on my own boda boda. Sometimes if things were tight, we shared the boda boda. We went together, we arrived. He dropped me home in a taxi. I'm not saying a special hire. As in tuli mu taxi kamunye. Tuli banji na ye bantwala anze. You understand? My boyfriend drops me in the taxi kamunye. Hey, am I talking at all? But I saw a man whose heart was after God. And I knew that if he's connected to my heavenly Father, we will be okay. There was no Uber. We've been married 13 years. Goyagala Uber, eh? You will be fine. Jeremy lived in his parents' home until a few months to our wedding. When my relatives asked me, I would just say he lives in Mengo and not add in his father's house. It was true, he lived in Mengo. Was it a lie? It was not a lie. I covered. I had seen those who moved out a year earlier. Where did you get the notion that a man must move out before he gets married? Where is it biblically? Isaac married his wife in his parents' home. I'm shaking tables. Get spiritually minded, daughters of mine. Become spiritually minded. Many of you admire the men we've married, but you don't know where we came from. You've seen them 10 years later. You do not know. We had to have faith. We had to see something of substance beyond what the eye could see. I knew my husband couldn't afford dowry. I talked to my auntie. It had to be scrapped. So he knew in his heart when they were there threatening his father that it was just for tradition. After that, they would tell them at dinner that, by the way, those cows, you can have them. But we are building something. Our children will have the capacity to do whatever they want. You have to look beyond what you can see now. That man had to take a chance on me as well. My wedding, he chose the cake. He chose the deco. You know what? It doesn't matter. Maybe when we are 25 years in marriage, I'll care about cake and deco. Those things don't make a marriage. I kept telling him, babe, if we're the only ones who show up, we will get married. We'll find a witness in the church. I'm not going to get stressed. We borrowed cars from our friends for our wedding. One was, what kind of car for the bridesmaids? It wasn't even a Benz. What kind of car was it? A Mitsubishi from JK. He gave it to us. We put in fuel. We drove ourselves. Then someone had a Benz. There were two Benzes from friends. We borrowed them. Why are you spending 300,000 on cars you don't own to drive them for 2 hours to impress people who won't care and will talk about you when you're in financial trouble? Who are you trying to impress?